Some person asked you or told you that your definition of a righteous deed is incorrect. And the true definition of a righteous deed is based on two things. And these two things only. That's it. If you don't if these two things, if this deed that you do doesn't fall into these two categories, it's not considered a righteous deed. It's only a good deed. Would you think that this methodology or reasoning is complicated or not complicated? Those are your two options. You think it's complicated, that reasoning? Or do you think?
No.
You don't think that's complicated?
Witness answered the question.
No, did you think about it?
I mean, if you're being
objection,
told these two things
is based on these two things only.
Then how is it complicated if that's what it's based on?
Wait, hold on.
Again, badgering the witness. Objection, Your Honor. Answer the question. You asked, she answered. That's it. Move on with your cross-examination.
I have no further questions.
Thank you very much. At this time, obviously, facts will be called up. Do his cross-examination.
So
you did note, Miss K, correct? You did note that, in fact, it would not be complicated if it was based off of two things. Righteous deed, correct?
Yeah.
And if you did find these two to not only be simple and clear, you would explore the truth and the validity of them, correct?
If I believed that was yes, but if not, then...
Okay, so the fact that you would explore the facts of what you...
If it was something I believed in, if I was like, okay, I agree with that.
Okay, so if you agreed, as long as you agreed with it. So there we have it. It's as simple as daylight. The fact of the message is very simple, is very clear, and it is actually meant for the creation because it was destined from the Creator. And with that, we rest our case.
I have a question for the witness.
Well, you may proceed. We see no reason why, as long as the defense has rested its case.
So, Miss K, for the record, based on what you just testified, would you think that...
You mean based on her testimony?
Based on your testimony, and on what you just testified, do you feel that the only way for you to do something righteous be based, if the only way that you can do something righteous...
Not if I don't agree with those two things.
If you don't agree with those
then
two...
I feel like just being a good person is
So if you're not a righteous person because you don't believe that righteousness is based off of these two particular things.
See you all day.
Do what? Can you buy that?
Yeah.
If you're good, okay, if we see that. You have to ask mine.
Mommy, can I buy?
Okay. Righteousness
Mommy, can I put this on my wrist?
based on...
I'm gonna put this. Can I put this on my wrist?
when you get
value or based on value or righteousness based on decency.
What's more righteous? I guess righteousness would be, but like I said, if you don't believe in those two things, then what I feel as though just being a good person
So if
is enough.
If I came to you with a message and I say, the only way that you're going to be righteous is if you do this and this.
Objection, Your Honor, badgering the witness again, misleading.
If I disagree with it, then I disagree with it, and I don't. Then I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing and being a decent human being, and I feel as though that's enough.
Objection sustained. Question answered.
So I'm because okay. What I'm getting at is this: if someone came to me and told me that you can be righteous, you can be a decent person, and the only way that you're going to be good and go to heaven is if
Objection, heaven was not mentioned in the argument altogether.
I still agree that if you're just being a good person and you don't agree with those righteous, that you have to do this and this to be righteous, I think as long as and you're being a good person and you're not out here fucking people over and being a fucking shitty person.
Yeah, when I say value, I mean like righteousness. It has a value. If you place value on righteousness, meaning the value of righteousness is your acceptance into a realm of say heaven, for instance. So that's the value of what righteousness means in this situation. You don't think that's complicated?
Counsel, she's already answered the question. She does not find it to be complicated. She doesn't. She finds it to be simple.
The question
you
itself,
must move on with your cross-examination.
No,
the defense has already rested thus far. You're just taking us all out.
I don't think the witness clearly understood the question, so I'm explaining the question to you. Listen, what I'm saying is this:
are we going
if
into
righteousness is given a value, and the value of righteousness is say, okay, you know what, this particular righteousness is going to get you into heaven. Are you going to be like, oh, this is easy or this is complicated? Seeing as say for instance you already believe that being like you already said for you being good and being righteous is the same thing, and somebody says, oh no, it's actually good and righteous is two completely different things. If you want to be righteous, and let's not even Google what righteous means, but if you want to be righteous, it has to come with these two things or this and that. That you don't think that's complicated? A little bit? Or not at all complicated?
Like, if you're given these two specific things, then I don't think it's...
What do you mean if you...
Like, okay, in order to be righteous, it has to be this and this. And
right. The objection was sustained and you still going on.
Explain to you, then I don't feel as though it's complicated.
Okay, there you go. Again, she's answered it. She's already answered it.
I don't think that...
Oh my goodness!
You having to righteousness is.
Or maybe I'm not asking.
Can we allow for a recross examination? Miss K, tell us why you feel that it's not complicated.
Like I said, if you're explaining what these two things are, and
can I put this one on my
you are made to understand what these two things are, then why is it complicated?
Thank you very much. And would you agree that if you have one creator or superior or supreme, however you want to consider, and that supreme, or in this case, we're talking about the creator, says that this is the way, would you deny that that is complicated?
Okay, see, now I see where he's getting with. I agree that it can be complicated because everybody believes, or not, but people have their own beliefs and they believe in different things. So if you don't agree with it, then of course it can
Okay, you agree now with what he's saying because of what he said. Very good. But you do realize the question was that do you deny that it's complicated?
If you're okay, but if you're
just give it 1 minute, please allow us to complete. And we actually did not ask about under the circumstances. We said supreme, we said superior, we said one that you know for a fact is. And that's why we mentioned earlier your boss, your drill sergeant, your doctor, they're giving you instructions. And they're telling you, again, what you say to them at that point, it's complicated?
You could, yeah.
Thank you very much. When you say and you deny that it's complicated under those circumstances, does it become easier or more complicated for you?
I guess easier because you're.
Mommy, I want some more toast.
You want more toast?
Yeah.
Because then you can have somebody explain or.
Very good. Now, if they actually explained and clarified for you, which is the message that we're talking about, and they've let you know for a fact that I know you better than anyone else. I know you better than yourself. I know this route. I know this creation. I know the entirety better than you. And better than anyone who has ever existed and anyone who ever exists beyond this time. And they explained it to you. And it was clear to you. Would you then say it was complicated?
No.
Thank you very much.
You're talking about spirituality.
Excuse.
That's why I said I agree
allow.
Because everyone has their own beliefs and believes in different things. And you can disagree with if this person believes in this and you believe in this, of course you're going to disagree, and then it can.
I mean, I see how
and so
you're misleading the witness.
Excuse you,
but
because under misleading in which way?
Yeah.
Misleading in which way? The question is very simple. You have one creator. He gave you
the last 2 minutes of the testimony
based on which argument?
Based on Mr. Fatah's misleading the witness.
Misleading under what circumstances or which direction?
Not being specific about the spirituality aspect of the conversation.
Facts, you must redirect your question. Sustained. Very good. Miss Kate, you have a clear message.
Spiritual message.
And you know for a fact that it is a righteous message. And you know also for a fact that it has not been diluted or misconstrued in any way. Would you find that to be complicated?
Just because now I know you're talking about spirituality, I can't agree because everyone has their own beliefs and not everyone believes that this is untampered with messages and see.
Happily, you said spirituality, but we did not say that on our council. So we just wanted to note that. That must be well noted.
Okay, yes. If a message is explained, put there right in front of me, yes, how is it complicated? But you can't, now I know what you're talking about.
Excuse your witness. Very good. I think that now it is crystal clear. He said it was clear and he made it very clear. Just like in night and day, light and day, you would be able to see it clearly. Such is the spiritual realm as well. He created that too.
Yeah,
and he's given the Quran and the special allied coalition forces have definitely concluded their and rested the case. Obviously, the reinforcements did not work out for you. Sorry.
They didn't work out for you.
They didn't. They really didn't work out for you. First, it was hard enough for her to come to terms with it having to even be complicated. That took forever. And then at the end of the day, she still could not stick with the fact that just as logic, you would be talking about coming back to it and it alone practically in a sense of questioning, she cracked and she had to be excused. She did. As
Just because she didn't go with what you say doesn't mean that she cried.
I'm sorry. Not only did she go with what we said from the beginning, which it was not complicated.
There's complication.
Now you're saying that it's complications.
Every individual is different. It's complications.
When you talk,
there's always going to be complications if you say, you try to say that this is righteous and this is good and it's not the same. And in order for you to be righteous and be accepted, then you have this and this to be attached to it, or it's not a righteous deed. So
well, we did give, and it was nice. Again, the good deed versus the righteous deed. I think that is all we have for now. Wassalam.